So I've decided I'm going to try and speed up these videos, so I don't sound like a low-pitched monotone fax machine from the early 90s and instead make it sound like I actually have something interesting to say. So before I very quickly get into this, I'm going to urge you to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can be regularly updated with my shit. Right, let's do this. So loads of films don't win Oscars. For example, Shawshank Bloody Redemption didn't win any, even though it was nominated for 7. So these aren't exactly the best films that didn't win anything, but just 5 films I can't believe won nothing considering how good they are. So American History X is one of the most painful films I've ever watched, so it was brilliant. It felt so true to life and was as controversial as the reality it was based upon. Writer David McKenna pulled no punches when it came to the script and it was brought together perfectly by a largely unknown Tony Kaye. But guess what? It won nothing. The film had one single nomination for Norton's outstanding acting in a lead role, which was absolutely deserved, but nothing else. Granted, the 1999 Oscars were a particularly difficult year to crack given the wealth of talent on the show, with Shakespeare in Love and Saving Private Ryan absolutely stealing the show. I would say they should have waited and released the film for the 2000s Oscars, but that year American Beauty and The Matrix dominated. Although American History X is about 10,000 times better than The Matrix, and if you don't like that, you can piss off. Sorry, I take that back. American History X struggled off the bat in general, putting in only $3 million over its budget in worldwide gross, but it redeemed itself in the eyes of the public, managing an 8.5 on IMDb with over 1 million votes, which is fucking loads, placing it remarkably at the number 38 spot in best films ever made. By the way, IMDb is my bible. It's the holy grail of everything film related, and I unashamedly spend hours on the site every week. This was not sponsored by IMDb, by the way. Interestingly, it was kind of panned by critics too, with an average 62 out of 100 Metacritic score. Village Voice, whoever the fuck they are, gave it a 20 and called it a mess of a film. Honestly, I implore the brilliance of those writing for the Village Voice to come back to this film and actually open their eyes while watching it this time. That sounded like a threat. It's not. It's just very strong and forceful guidance. American History X is undoubtedly and unequivocally deserving of an Oscar. American Psycho completes the double whammy of films with the American prefix that failed to compete at the American Academy Awards. Released 2 years after the primary American movie, and just a year after the more successful secondary American Beauty, which won 5 Oscars, American Psycho fulfills the trilogy of American films in 3 years. Why I'm saying this, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is, American Psycho deserves some Academy recognition, and it didn't even get so much as a sniff at a nomination. The best it got was an awards circuit community award. Who gives a fuck about them? Who's even heard about them? It also got nominated for a Golden Frog. How does a film this good not even win a Golden Frog? I'm sorry, I lost my cool there. Hopefully I don't go all Patrick Bateman on the Academy for this one. Again, not a threat. I'm joking, I'm sorry. Another great film that has ingrained itself in pop culture and rightfully earned its cult status among a strong core of fans long after it came out. Obviously it's not quite as good as American History X, but that's understandable given the much less serious nature of the film. Well, sort of. The film is about a murderous psychopath that goes on a metropolitan killing spree. But come on, it's pretty ridiculous. But still, Christian Bale is insanely good as Patrick Bateman in this film. One of his most iconic roles, if not his most iconic. Based on the way more gruesome novel by Bret Easton Ellis, it could easily have had a Best Adapted Screenplay nomination, although it admittedly faced stiff competition in this category with Traffic winning and Crouching Tiger, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and Chocolat all nominated. The Best Acting category, however, was wide open for Bale to earn at least a nomination. But no, nothing. However, I can't be too mad at the Oscars that year, as Frances McDormand and Kate Hudson were both nominated for Best Supporting Actress for their roles in one of my all-time favourite films, Almost Famous. Uncut Gems was something of an uncut gem itself. I'm sorry, I'll see myself out. What I mean is not that it was unpolished or unfinished, but that clearly not everyone could recognise its value, at least at first glance. This one angered me. They all angered me, but this one really angered me. Uncut Gems was the best film I watched in 2019 and undoubtedly the best film that came out in 2019. I said it. Yes, Parasite was ridiculously good and deserved to sweep the way it did, and I love Bong Joon-ho, but the disrespect to the Safdie brothers this year hurts. Not one single nomination for the most intense, anxiety-inducing film made since No Country for Old Men. The Safdie brothers hold so much promise, so I'm not too worried at all about this being a case of them missing their shot at an Oscar for sure, but it still grinds my damn gears. Adam Sandler gave a career best performance, with Punch Drunk Love just behind in Uncut Gems.
I disagree.
He played the role perfectly, and it's even more satisfying that the brothers literally waited years to have him agree to do the film, not wanting to cast anyone else as Howard Ratner. This film is like a panic attack on wheels, and if you haven't seen it, I cautiously advise you to watch it. It will have you on the edge of your seat throughout the entire runtime. Not much more I can say about this one without breaking down into tears, But how can a film that received a 90+ rating from the LA Times, the Hollywood Reporter, the AV Club, Vanity Fair and IndieWire, who gave it 100, not even get a nomination? Shit's unfair, man. Adam Sandler continues his search for a major honour. I will say that it did win Best Actor and Best Director at the Independent Spirit Awards, which is a very cool award to win, so have that, Oscars.
This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
Reservoir Dogs, man. I honestly don't know why I made this video, it's just pissing me off at this point. So much disrespect from the Academy. Quentin Tarantino's debut on the directorial stage, the 86th highest rated film ever, a perfect score from Ty Burr at Entertainment Weekly. Okay, I don't know how much value that last one holds, but what I'm trying to say is that yes, again, this film deserved an Oscar, and won nothing. Tarantino sets out a stylistic crime drama and checks pretty much every box. The film plays out like a theatre production, with very few sets and a heavy focus on dialogue, but that was to become Tarantino's undoubted strong suit. How he managed to land Harvey Keitel in his directorial debut I'll never know, but I'm sure glad he did. What really comes through in this film is Tarantino's directorial flair and his enthusiasm for filmmaking. I actually saw a clip the other day of behind the scenes of Inglourious Bastards. I'll show you.
Cool, let's do it one more time. Why? Because we love making movies!
Full of emotion, humour and shocking twists, this film deserved an Oscar. But no, can you believe it? Again, nothing. Not even a nomination. It's almost as if I, and by I mean we, should stop paying attention to the Academy full stop. I mean, it hardly gets it right. Comment hashtag frick the Oscars below if you're with me and say, I sure do hate that darn Academy. Moving on. This film should 100% have been at least nominated for Best Original Screenplay. At least. I mean, it had Lorenzo's Oil and Passion Fish to compete with, for fuck's sake. It wasn't exactly a stellar year of screenwriting. However, luckily, Tarantino was redeemed with an Original Screenplay Academy Award at the 1995 Oscars for Pulp Fiction. You win some, you lose some, I guess.
Now I want to dance, I want to win, I want that trophy.
No. This is the worst one. It actually makes me feel sick. I don't know if I can say it. Taxi Driver didn't win an Oscar. Poor Marty, man. Arguably his masterpiece. Didn't get recognition for a film that lives on instilled in the memory of everyone that watched it. I've had Bernard Herrmann's main theme stuck in my head since the first time I watched the film. Honestly. Look, I understand I shouldn't give too much weight to the importance of an Oscar, but it's the biggest award there is, and every good filmmaker and actor and producer and so on deserves to be properly credited when they make something great. This film has the highest Metascore out of the 5 in the video, 94. The main man Roger Ebert gave this film a perfect 100. Wish he would have had a word with the Academy class of 1977 before they made the biggest mistake of the 20th century, giving Best Picture to Rocky. Don't hate me, I love the film too.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
And for giving the Best Original Score to Jerry Goldsmith for The Omen over Bernard Herrmann for Taxi Driver. The poor man literally died right after finishing the score on those bastards that the Academy couldn't even give him a posthumous Oscar. Heartbreaking. Right, this was a tough video to make. I'm going to go cry in the corner and mutter terrible things about the Academy. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, this is all said in jest and I don't actually hate the Academy. I just wanted to make this video to show you that sometimes amazing films don't win Oscars, and the award is definitely not a true indication of how good something was.